All right, now that stream can hear us, I will tell the story. So for the players, some of you guys know this. I went to an international high school, which means we had lots of English as a second language students. So big kind of melting pot of different people, different cultures, all that stuff. It was pretty awesome, right? Well, one of these people was from Germany, and her name was Annika. And Annika was like an Olympic medal winning black belt in karate, right? So she looked
cool.
like if Ivan Drago from Rocky IV had a daughter, it was Annika. Okay, all right, that's what she looked like. And
Nice.
I was walking by her one day. Me and her were walking to a class, and a person was walking the opposite direction. This was Musashi, and Musashi was from Japan, right? So as we pass Musashi, Musashi's phone rings. He answers it, mushi mushi, right? Because that's how you say hello in Japanese. Well, apparently, at least at that time, mushi was a slang term for a certain female body part below the waist, if you get my drift. Okay? Well, Annika thought Musashi was calling for some attention, if you get the meaning, and which is extra funny because if you knew Musashi well enough, you knew that is not what he was after in his life. But Annika didn't know that, thought she was being catcalled in the rudest way possible, so she did a pivot palm thrust into Musashi's face, caught him right below the orbital bone, and caved in his entire left orbital socket in a single blow. Just destroyed his face. I've never been so horrified in my life. And it's one of those, like, once we got him up, got ice on it, got him to the hospital and all of that, I explained, number one, Annika's explanation, because her English wasn't that strong, of her literally spreading her legs and sticking her finger in her crotch to explain to me what word he thought he was saying, and then me trying to explain to her that Musashi was gay, and that is the last thing he would have been asking for, and then her realization of everything that happened. It was a bit of a conversation, and it was hilarious. And I was just like, wow, talk about lost in translation. You know what was lost in translation? About a quart of his blood and his orbital bones, because she broke them all. His dad was a CEO or a SVP at Sony, and he had a private plane flown into the little town in Oklahoma we're in, picked him up, and he came back 6 weeks later after having his face rebuilt in Korea, and you couldn't even tell he'd even been hit. So, but she obviously profusely apologized to him. Musashi understood, yada yada. It was all they were friends thereafter, but it was just it's what I like to call sitcom funny. If you saw it on a TV show, it'd be the funniest thing you've ever seen. But that's the Mushi Mushi story.
Jesus,
it's funny.
Yeah. Next time, I'll tell the story about how I got arrested in Kiev. But
that's a good story. Story time.
Yep. But so first and foremost, I apologize to all of our regular viewers. Last week, I do believe that Narikins was in the process of traveling to a country that speaks a language that sounds like gargling mud, so she wasn't available to hop on to play with us, and we had another person who was not feeling well, so we did skip last week, so I apologize for that. Also, we may be short a grumpy old man today, so we'll see exactly if he makes it or not, but we are going to go ahead and play without him. So, to pick up where we were last time, when last we saw our heroes, Nate the Human Ranger, Gobs the Gith Yankee Warlock, Othokent the Lizardfolk Life Domain Cleric, Talah the Half-Orc Druid, and Abraham the Human Wizard. Our friends were they were at the Grand Library at Ik of Warzana with the help of the dragon Zenai, they were able to jump off the top of the tower, and using a modified featherfall spell, were able to glide quite some distance in their attempt to escape Carrie. They landed far to the north on the edge of the desert and the grasslands, and from there they continued towards the river. They ended up in a small village, logging village. And in the bar there, they ran into a couple bounty hunters who they were somewhat friendly with, somewhat not friendly with, somewhat trying to get people angry, not angry, and eventually met the elf that was being taken by them in as a bounty, communicated to that elf's wife that she was in trouble, and then were given the high impression that one of the most terrifying creatures in all of existence was coming to get her wife back. And I believe that's about where we left off, if I remember correctly.
Pretty much.
Awesome. So we're in the little village, which I had a name for somewhere. I don't remember what it was, so there you go. But yeah,
It was Cedar Spine.
Thank you, Cedar Spine. So yeah, you're in Cedar Spine. Again, not much to it. The biggest thing there is, there is a dock. They are loading lumber to go downstream to the city of Gilgamesh itself. So this is where raw lumber comes in. They cut it, or raw wood comes in, raw trunks come in. They do the initial cut down of them, and then they send them on down the river for further processing. So again, there is an inn/tavern, which is where you're at, general store, the normal type facilities, a post office / clerk's office, jail, that kind of stuff. But nothing major here. There's not much beyond the functional needs of a small outpost for this particular type of work is what happens here. And that's where we are. So, what would everybody like to do?
All right. So, I have the horses.
Yeah, now that Healmbrim is doomed, let's not go that way anymore.
I agree.
Sure.
So, what? Are we just going to be following the river till we reach the city?
I think that's our best option. Make sure we don't get lost.
Would it be faster to sail in like a boat?
I do not know. I am not a seafarer. I'm a doctor.
I know how to steer a boat, but I mean, if we already have horses.
Yes, these are indeed our horses. I paid for them.
Go to Healmbrim.
Sorry, what?
Why would we go to Healmbrim?
To help out?
To help out with what?
That whole disaster.
I'm sorry, but it seems like going there for that disaster will just bring us to be part of said disaster. And I do like briefing quite a lot.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, firstly, I thought we could get there before they went, but then all of a sudden, all kinds of escalation happened. Apparently,
I mean, going there's probably not a bad idea.
how is it not a bad idea?
Takes us away from what's his face, Carrie.
Yeah, and brings us straight to whoever this Nissa person is.
Well,
I
she's
mean, I
not
got a
angry with
card that
us.
said to mention Nissa. I think Nissa is a good guy or girl.
And she's not angry with us.
No, but does she know us?
Well, no, but do you think she'll just attack whoever she sees?
If they're in the way of her purported love, then yes. Especially when if
We
she's got
are the informants.
well, you and Talah. Did you describe how her perpetrators looked?
No.
Does she have any idea what they are?
No.
Do we know what kind of inhabitants mostly go about Healmbrim?
I don't.
Well, if
Oh.
those three were from Healmbrim, it seems like there's a lot of people with animalistic caricatures and, well, not to point anything out, but I am literally a giant lizard.
I mean, if it comes to it, just tell her you're not the one. She's able to track them down. She's likely a smart person, right?
I
mean,
don't
she
know if
wouldn't-
that's any guarantee.
I mean, she wouldn't
she's-
just go on a single-minded rampage in a general direction of a city, destroy everything in her path until she finds a wife, right? That's crazy. That's what crazy people do.
I mean, she's
I-
definitely impulsive from what we've heard.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I haven't talked to her. Talah and Nate, do you believe she would go on some weird murderous rampage?
I mean, she
Um,
did seem pretty violent on the phone.
Yeah, she hit the person who gave her the message.
And we had to tell the others.
Wait.
Well,
So she hit the person who gave her the message to try and help.
No. We were talking to someone who was gonna, inform, what was her name again?
I have that here.
Sarandale?
Yeah.
They were gonna
Maybe.
inform Sarandale, but this Nissa person overheard and was like, what's that about Katarina, blah, 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 kapook! And then she took the phone.
Aha.
And then when we told her what it was going on, she basically told us to tell the bounty hunter she was going to kill them in a very gruesome way.
She sounds really mentally stable.
She sounds
Maybe
lovely.
we could go and make sure that the right people are the ones who get attacked.
I mean, she was going to take a boat, right?
I would just like to say we are already hopelessly behind because I not fly.
Well, I kind of can.
That brings you. And no one. But just why did you see a need to antagonize them like that?
But we were just delivering a message.
And you didn't consider the implications of said message.
I was just making
Maybe
sure
not.
she had some kind of backup.
Alright. So while you were in there, I talked to Abraham and I went and got these horses because they seemed none the wiser of what our potential plans might have been. And they seemed rather happy with waiting a bit before traveling on. And I think they would have traveled foot. I bought the horses so we could beat them to Healmbrim and investigate. And, get a feel for the situation. Because as it currently stands, it's a he said, she said situation. We have no way of knowing who is right or wrong. We could have gone and gathered information and prepared for such. And if it showed that she was right in what she said, that the mayor is a conniving, dirty bastard, we could have done something about it. Now they're ahead of us, they're hurrying, and they are most likely going to tell the mayor what's coming.
So what you're saying is that Nissa needs help.
No, what I'm saying is that Katarina is gonna need help. Because now we don't know what
Yeah.
the mayor's gonna do to her. And we're not going to be able to catch up. Unless any of you know the flight speed of gaseous beings, then I don't believe we're going to be faster.
Not off
Yeah,
the
that's
top
a
of
good
my
question.
head, but it didn't seem to be moving all that fast.
Either way, I think we should get out of.
Fine. I bought a horse from everyone. Let's
So-
go die in hell. Let's go die then. To the west we go.
The good deeds.
Yes, let's try and do
Let's-
some good deeds.
Let's just stick to the water as well, because if Nissa is taking a boat, then we might be able to spot her.
But there's actually a point here brought up. Talah?
Yeah.
If stuff like this happens in the future, could you maybe just try and break off for a moment to just reconvene with the rest of us? We might have plans we can use. Instead of just continuously escalating the situation until there's only one way forward.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't help.
It's alright. Let's go try and save a village and a wayward wizard. I think she's a wizard. I don't know.
Either that or she's
Who
just
knows?
really foul-mouthed.
With the fury that it sounded like Nissa had, she might be running on water.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's just get a move on. As Talah
Let's
gets
get-
on a horse.
Indeed, I have both feet and horses.
So how
And
does
well-
one ride a horse?
Yeah, I was
Like
about to
this!
ask.
Yeah!
What?
Well, from what I was told, you climb up on the saddle, put the feet on the straps, and then you use this piece of leather to guide it.
Mush.
Talah's already going.
Go
So-
forward, my valiant steed.
So, obviously, Talah and Nate, you guys would have ridden horses numerous times, so you're not going to have any trouble. Everyone else needs to give me an animal handling check.
I have more problems than just that. You said horse. I'm a small-sized goblin.
He would have gotten you a small horse.
Did you
You know, it's
specifically
one of
get a
those mini
riding dog
horses.
or a pony?
Mini horse.
No.
I hear no.
Yeah, no.
So I'm
Okay.
guessing this non-existent animal handling check will be made with disadvantage because
It
I have
will
no
be-
We assist.
advantage.
Yes, disadvantage, please. Also realized I was using my wrong microphone. Does this one sound okay?
This one sounds fine.
Yeah, it's good.
Alright.
Let's
Can we
see.
assist at least?
Nope.
I mean,
Or-
you're unless you're sitting on the horse behind me, I don't think you can. Okay, animal handling.
Oh!
Also,
So
let
what
me
you
just-
do is, oh fuck.
So what happens is the Talah does actually smack its ass.
What? No!
How do I ride this? Like this? Psh!
Talah got on a horse and then went, yeah, and just went off with her own horse. She did nothing to
Nate
yours.
is following.
All right. So first and foremost, let's deal with
Is that for
Gobs.
Abe? Is that last one for Abraham?
Yeah. Oh, I had to do 2 of those. You take 7 points of bashing damage, or what would that be? Blunt, whatever.
Bludgeoning.
Bludgeoning. Thank you. My brain's not working. As
That's
you
fine.
do get immediately thrown off the horse. Talah, I need a survival check.
Okay.
Othokent, I need a D4 from you.
Okay.
Okay, so the good news, Talah, you are able to hop on the horse, and when you go, you also do go the direction you're wanting to go. And if I remember correctly, you said you guys are going to Healmbrim, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, so you start charging off without everybody else in the western direction, or the southwest. So you're headed straight down the river.
Yeah, I'm following the river.
Gobs is immediately kicked off of her horse, very, very high, lands abruptly, twists her ankle very badly, and is laying on the ground. Othokent, you and Abraham are side by side whenever you try to spur your horses to go, and they go, but you have absolutely no control of them. The good news is that you both go in the same direction. The bad news is that you both gallop due east. Nate, what would you like to do, buddy? So you've got Gobs laying on the ground hurt. Othokent and Abraham have dashed off to the east. Talah has dashed off to the west.
Well, I think I need to help my my guys to the east and try and see if I can rein them in.
Okay, so you're going to take off after the people to the east?
Yeah, Gobs is fine.
No.
Okay. Give me another... You give me a survival check. Okay.
Nice.
It's going to take about 4 or 5 rounds for you to catch up to them and help them rein in their horses. But you will
Can I
successfully do that.
something?
Sure. Okay. It's still going to take you that long to catch up to them,
Yeah.
and then you'll cast the spell and start to talk to them to get them to calm down, and then I'll give you a moment to actually talk to the horses here in just a moment. Talah,
Mm-hmm.
I want a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. You get not too far, maybe 2 or 3 rounds worth of riding, and then you realize,
No
wait a
one's
minute,
following.
where is everybody? And you look back, and you don't even get far enough away that you can't see into the village square. You see no horses except for Gobs, and Gobs pulling herself up off the ground, limping heavily.
I'm remaining down.
Oh, Gobs is just laid on the ground, moaning and whining about having been thrown off the horse.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll go back.
All right. So while you're going back to her, Nexus, or Nate, you have caught up to your 2 friends whose horses who are successfully staying on their horse, just going the wrong direction. You have cast Speak with Animals. What would you like to say to said horses?
I would like to calm them down. So, whoa there, relax. Please stop. We need to go southwest, but please relax.
I don't know where that is.
Oh, I can lead you. But please, first, relax. My friends on your backs don't quite know how to ride yet.
Theodore, should we stop for this young man? He seems very kind. I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is, Stephen. Go ahead and give me an animal handling check with advantage to stop the horses. Awesome.
Nice.
Oh, he seems very trustworthy, Theodore. My name's not Theodore. We've covered this. Theodore, let's stop for this young man. He may have carrots. And so you've gotten control of the 2 horses. and they are now following you in whichever direction you wish to lead them.
Gonna lead them back to where Gobs fell off.
Thank you, Nate. This was not as easy as I thought it would be.
It's okay. It takes a bit.
Still, I appreciate it.
All right, so you guys have all kind of gathered up back together at this point.
Yeah, I've gotten off my horse to help Gobs up.
Awesome. So about the time you're lifting Gobs up off the ground is where the other group gets back to you.
Hey, Talah, how do you horse?
Well, first off, where's yours?
There.
Yeah, it's literally 4 feet away.
Yeah, that's not yours anymore.
Once everybody gets back together, you all start to hear something. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Looking around, where does sound come from?
Gobs' arm. Gobs, your arm is starting to convulse and bubble and wiggle around quite a bit.
I'm gonna take several steps away from the others.
I'm gonna jolt back immediately.
And the arm splits open, and a saliva-covered sword comes tumbling out of your arm.
All right, there, buddy. Just gonna pat the arm, basically patting my own shoulder. There you go. Let it out.
Will too strong.
I'm sure it was.
So, the previously absorbed and swallowed sentient blade has been spit back up by Gobs' arm. Exodius was unable to absorb the sentient blade. And it just had a sword hairball, basically.
Ugh.
So yeah, the previously absorbed blade is now on the ground, covered in spit. Other than that, perfectly fine.
I kind of feel bad for the blade.
It said
You
it
and me
had a
both.
will? Also, out of curiosity, did Exodius speak out?
No, only you
Exodorius speak
heard
out
it.
loud? All right. Yeah, Exodorius just said it had a will that was too strong, so it spat it back out.
Huh.
So it's a sentient blade.
Seems so.
Doesn't change the fact I feel bad for that sword.
Well, I guess that proves that it can't eat thinking people. I hope.
It just states that if your will is too strong, it can't do that.
As a note, it's eating people.
It's eaten
Yep.
one person, but he was already dead.
Yeah, they had no will left.
And there's a difference between eating and absorbing into yourself.
Fair enough. I don't think it's actually ate anyone else ever.
Huh.
Mhm.
So, I clearly can't use it. Besides, Exodorus is plenty strong, so...
I don't really
Yeah.
use blades.
Remind me, what type of sword was this again? Oh, I have it here. It was a longsword.
Yeah, wasn't it a sentinel blade?
It was a +1 longsword. It was not a sentinel blade, no. It was called the Whispering Blade, Once per day, the Whispering Blade can emanate an aura of soft whispers, causing enemies within a 10-feet radius to make a Wisdom saving throw, DC 14, or become momentarily distracted. Affected creatures have disadvantage on the next attack roll or saving throw.
Yep. And it was sentient. It whispers to you when you wield it.
Which I never found out because I heard it briefly speak, followed by.
Yep.
Well, we can pick up the sword and then we should probably rush off.
I
Yeah.
am not going to jump off the horse, considering I fear if I jump off, the horse will not be as kind the second time.
Nate,
You guys are gonna behave now, right? Talking to the horses.
Well, Theodore is quite rambunctious. That's not my name, Stephen. We've talked about this. And then one of the other horses, Gobs' horse, is like, wait, did that two-legged thing just talk?
Yes.
That's weird. You're weird.
I am. Thank you. Now, I'm gonna try and teach these guys how to handle the reins and such. But if you can please be nice to them.
All right, I'll make you a deal. Talking two-legged guy, 3 apples, and I'll make sure the smelly little green one doesn't fall off again.
Oh, deal. I'm gonna see if I can forward some apples on the way then. In the meantime, I think I have some oats in my bag.
Look, I can get oats myself. All right, I've got a little feed bag. All right, it's the apples. You hear me?
Okay.
You understand? Am I clear? Apples.
I'm gonna get you some apples.
Apples, or the green one gets it. You got me?
Which one?
With the small horse.
Yeah, it's the small horse.
Awesome.
Oh, it is actually a small horse.
Yeah.
I thought it was a regular horse.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
quarter horse.
so your name is Stephen, and you are not Theodore, and you are...
They call me the cobbler.
Popular. Okay.
No one calls him that. His name is Randall. Randall the cobbler.
Randall the cobbler.
Nobody calls him that. I'm quite intimidated by the cobbler. He is quite vicious. Those hooves have drawn blood, I tell you. Blood!
And what is your name?
Stephen is my name. And this is Theodore. My name's not Theodore. It's Fluffles. The owner of the stable's daughter named me Fluffles.
That's a nice name.
Fluffles is no name for a horse, Stephen. Stop laughing and making fun of things that you should not. Hold your head up in dignity, Stephen. I just answered to Stephen because, number one, it is better than Fluffles, but number two, that Theodore's he's a bit crazy. He used to be a plow horse. He spent way too much time out in the sun, I think. And I'm the cobbler. And you're not the cobbler. Okay? You don't make shoes, and you're not a pastry. Okay? So you fit neither definitions of cobbler. Okay? I think you're trying to say clobbler. Clobberer? I see why you went with cobbler. It's a lot easier to say than clobberer.
Stephen, Randall the cobbler, and not Theodore.
Yeah. Oh, and that's Princess over there. The one that Talah is riding is known as Princess.
Okay.
Of course it is.
It's a very large stallion named Princess.
Awesome.
But yeah,
Why
you give us.
I'm just gonna lean over towards Otho. Why is Nate just making horse sounds?
I don't know.
And why are they making sounds back?
He's talking to them.
He's what?
He's talking to them.
Nate, can
is
you speak
getting
horse?
Off the horse? Currently, yes. Nate is getting off the horse and picking up the sword and trying to wipe off some of the
Yuck.
void gunk.
Actually,
Gunk.
how
And-
does that look? Is it just regular saliva? Thicker, purple, black gunk?
Green.
Asking
Say
the
that-
important questions.
Say that again.
The saliva from Exodorius, what does that look like?
It's clear. It's normal looking spit.
Okay.
Okay. And as he is wiping off the sword, he's looking to his own horse. And what is your name?
Rufus.
Oh, hi, Rufus. Is that with an F or PH?
I can't ride. I'm a horse.
Ah, that's fine.
Hard to hold a pen, you know.
Yeah, but I don't know if horses have their own written language. Would be cool. Maybe you should
Yeah,
work
it's
on that.
nothing but U's and upside down U's.
Oh, well, that's a bit okay. Sounds a bit hard to read.
Yeah, it's like binary, but it's just U's instead of ones and zeros.
Why does this horse know binary?
Look, all right, he took a correspondence course. Doc, shut the hell up. All right.
So
I'm
this
sorry,
is where
but
we
the-
learned
the-
that
The lore
it
of
was
these
actually
horses.
horses that created Gilgamesh.
His cousin was a centaur. All right.
Wait, this is actually the child of a centaur and a minotaur. He's
No, I said
just a horse.
his cousin was a centaur, which means his aunt had a farmer that was a little frisky. All right. And that's how centaurs are born.
Okay. Anyways,
Sans our world.
we are in a bit of a hurry, so if we can continue our small talk on the way, and we're gonna see about those apples.
Are you just getting 3 apples for the cobbler? Or are you getting like 3 apples for each of us?
I'm gonna see if I can get enough for all of you.
If you can find some of them green ones, I like how tart they are.
Oh, sure.
Believe it or
I'll
not, I
try.
did not plan for horse conversations today, so thank you for this.
I mean, you knew it was a possibility. Both Nathaniel and Talah have speak with animals.
You know, I didn't think about it, but now I've got to be prepared. It's like, crap, I throw an animal, I better have a name and a voice for it. So
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Okay.
somebody better be documenting these horse names because I'm not going to remember,
I just put
I've
them
written-
down.
other than the cobbler.
I just need
I
to
wrote-
know whose horse is whose.
I wrote down Stephen, Fluffles, Randall, Princess, and Rufus.
And Theodore.
So,
Or not.
No,
I have-
because that's Fluffles.
Yeah.
No.
so I have the cobbler, as far as I understand.
You have
Yeah,
Randall.
the cobbler's his last name. His first name is Blackberry.
Randall is his last name. I'm just gonna keep it at Randall.
Perfect. All right, so now that you've got everything organized, you guys are heading towards Healmbrim. Or Healmbrim. I named the city and I can't say it. Healmbrim.
Healmbrim.
All right, I'm assuming Nate's going to be leading the group. Nate, I actually need 2 survival checks for you. from you. One.
Can I assist?
Yes, you can assist on the first one, but not the second one. First
Okay.
one is directional. So I need for you to be able to find your way based off the geography that you've seen and know to Healmbrim. The second is to find apples.
Guidance.
Okay.
Aren't we just following the road?
There's not a road.
No, river.
You're following the river.
River.
Yeah.
Also want to forage.
But yeah, I need those
Right.
2 survival checks, please.
The first one with advantage.
And guidance.
plus Help.
Yep, first one with advantage and guidance. Okay. Yeah, you're following a river. It's not hard. So you have no problems figuring out to go not the direction of the city. So
Are
you're
you gonna
basically
tell
backtracking because you
about the
guys got to
apples?
the river and started going up. With an 18, you were able to find exactly...
25 apples.
No, I
Oh.
think. You will find 9 apples in total, only one of which is green. But this is just the first day. So, because you're probably looking at about 2 days riding. But at this point, as you guys have traveled for about, because it was early afternoon when you guys got there. So you probably traveled for 6 or 7 hours, and it's starting to get dark. Nexus, it's not hard for you to find a good place to camp out for the evening. And as you guys begin to prep and camp out, what would anything anybody would like to do? The gobbler thanks you for the apples. You think is what he says, because your spell wore off.
Why are you giving that bastard apples?
We have an arrangement.
He threw me off.
And
To be
has
fair, he
some
hasn't done it
cities,
since, but
And that's the arrangement.
are you bribing a horse?
Be glad.
I'm sorry. Are you being shaken down by a horse?
No, technically you are.
Couldn't I just cut it apart, we eat it for dinner, and ride on the back of one of yours?
No!
You're saying that in front of the horses. Good job.
What? I don't speak horse.
They can still somewhat understand you, probably.
Well, I sure shit hope he does.
Please do not antagonize the equine.
Fine.
Thank you.
Wait, what did you say his name was again?
So, the one Gobx has is the
Yep.
cobbler, or Randall. One you have is Princess. One I have is Rufus. I don't know who has Stephen or not Theodore.
Oh, I feel like not Theodore is the best fit for Otho.
Yeah, not Theodore is Otho's.
Okay, look.
I would have guessed Abraham because old horse, old man.
Yeah. Or at least posh horse.
But it also fits.
Right,
Otho,
but the posh horse isn't not Theodore.
No, that's Stephen.
That's Stephen. Yeah, old posh horse is Abraham's.
Nice.
Right. Right, I got them mixed up, my bad.
I will tell you, as you begin to make camp, Otho, Abraham does tap you on the shoulder, and he asks if you could set down the programming code book that you guys got in the library.
Oh, of course.
And he's going to sit cross-legged, flipping through that book while holding the cube, and with both Roscoes, one on each shoulder. And that's how he will spend his evening until he falls asleep sitting up reading the book.
When he falls asleep, I'm gonna put him to bed.
If you try to put him to every time you try to put him to bed, he wakes back up, shrugs you off, and begins to read again until he falls back asleep sitting up.
Then eventually I just put a blanket over him.
You successfully put the blanket over him.
I
The
don't mean
Roscoe's
over his shoulders. I mean like over a bird cage.
The Roscoes would have crawled out and then sat on top of the blanket and
Yeah.
nestled in and gone to sleep.
In case it rains. He just got his hair back. He doesn't need it ruined.
Talah's gonna walk around the campsite trying to find, like, nice plants and flowers.
Okay. Give me that good old Talah survival check.
A good old Talah survival check is, not that great, apparently.
You don't find anything particularly unique. This part of this forest and water area is not too different from home. So you're seeing familiar plants, but nothing new or extraordinary.
She's gonna pick a few flowers and just reminisce about home a bit before going back to camp. And then just going to sleep.
Is anybody keeping watch?
Yes.
Okay, who's taking first watch?
I'd prefer to take a watch where there's some daylight left.
I
Same.
see very well in the dark. I can take one of the night shifts.
Human vision.
Gobs is gonna poke Talah, who's gone to bed. Talah, how's your vision at night?
What?
How do you see in the dark?
With my eyes?
Do you see well?
I mean, I don't really see much color, but other than that, it's pretty damn fine.
Okay, Otho, how do you see in the dark?
Only with additional lighting.
All right, Talah, both of us, night shift. Want early or late?
What?
Both of us take a night shift. Do you want the early one or the late one? By the way,
guess
she's not stopped poking you. She's rhythmically just poking you like dot 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 dot.
Which arm?
Which arm?
The left one.
Okay.
The right one can wait outside.
Oh, the right one is scary.
Yeah, leave the arm by the door.
I'll take the early one.
All right, go to sleep. You have 2 hours of sleep.
Beautiful.
Talah wants the early night shift. I'll take the second one. Otho, morning shift?
I would prefer that, yes. If Nathaniel is fine taking the early evening shift.
Of course.
We'll give you and Talah some overlap. Does mean that Talah has to wake me up at night.
You know what? I think she'll be fine with.
I'll find her stick.
Find another bush.
I'm gonna find the longest stick I can find without like going looking, like just around the camp.
I'm trying to sleep here.
Yeah, it's like a 4-foot stick. It's not a big deal to find one. It's kind of heavy though. You have to drag it with both hands over next to her. But you do that, and then you're able to bed down.
I was more thinking I'd give it to Nate and go, give this to Talah.
Thank you.
Yes.
By the way,
Once-
do make sure you sleep far away from the small horse.
No, I was thinking I was gonna be bedding up next to it, specifically on my right side.
It would be a bad idea.
I was not planning on sleeping next to the horse now.
Good. You'll live another night. Good night.
Actually, I was planning on being just on the edge of camp, so sleep tight and good watch.
Thank you.
Go to
Talah's
bed
just
and be on
gonna
the edge of the camp.
roll over to see like the middle of the camp and just quickly do boop and then go to sleep.
Oh,
So
excellent.
concentration is there for a minute. But you know.
I mean, I'm sure that you probably would have actually used that a bit earlier in the evening
Probably.
to help
possibly,
set
maybe.
the wood on fire that you would use for your campfire. So, Nate, during your watch, is there anything you'd like to do?
yes.
Okay, what would you like to do, Nate?
First of all, I would like to look over the notes I made on the sword and the Heart of Winter
Mm-hmm.
library. And then I will not creepily stare at Talah sleeping.
Not creepily though.
Like
Fail. Fail.
3 inches away.
It's not
at least.
creepy because I said it isn't.
That's not how it works, but okay.
Roll it.
Oh, just going through the whole vision again. Probably a bit distracting. I think that is more or less it.
Give me a perception check
Oh my.
with disadvantage.
Because you're staring at Talah.
Yeah, that booty just got you mesmerized. No, it's because he's a human and it's getting dark. Okay. Awesome. Your watch passes without too much of an issue. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Gonna go over and pick up Talah.
5 more minutes.
Unfortunately not.
Oh.
It's your turn to have the watch. Also, Gobx brought me this stick for you.
What?
So when it's when it's Gob's turn to have a watch, just give her a good old whack with the stick.
Sure.
Or you can poke her. That's probably better, but you decide.
Uh-huh.
You have a good sleep.
Right. A little, I guess.
Okie dokie.
You just go get some rest.
So, Talah, as you are sitting up
Yeah.
and going through your watch, what anything special you'd like to do throughout your watch?
I am working on my journal. And probably just like Nate did, I'm gonna stare at him and mull over what it was that I've seen.
Creepily.
I don't
As-
care if it's creepily or not.
As you look at Nate and just pure unbridled lust fills your eyes, what
No.
are you writing in your journal? Like, what are you putting in there? I know, I'm just teasing you.
That
I
booty,
mean,
though.
I wrote something down in the back of my journal, which I told you sounds cream, which he's
Mhm.
gonna go over and try to recall more details. And then basically just looking back and forth to Nate and then her journal.
Give
stuff
me
down.
a wisdom saving throw. It's hard for you to think past the tombstone. It
Yeah,
just dominates your memory of that.
it makes sense.
It's
There's
hard for you
probably some
to
crying
remember
involved.
what you had for breakfast or the name of the person who was your assistant. Um, you can't, and you don't remember who you talked to that day. You remember somebody was angry at you, but not really what for. Everything that dominates your thought, though, is that golden inlaid tombstone.
Yeah.
Here lies Nathaniel Pippin, the best of friends.
I think at a certain point of just not getting to push past that, she would bury her face in her arms. And just sitting upright with her knees close to her and then just burying her face in it.
Again, I would like a perception check.
With disadvantage, regular.
This one won't be at disadvantage.
Okay. Apparently, even though I have teary eyes, I am very perceptive.
To the due east, you can hear a deep, kind of rumbly flapping sound. And you do see, even though the sky is moderately cloudless, you do see lightning in the sky. But it's weird, it's moving. It's moving from the south to the north, from the due east of you. But you hear that rhythmic thump, thump, thump of heavy wings as it moves that direction.
Can I gather where to it might go based on the direction?
Looks like it's headed towards the city of Gilgamesh,
All right.
with the occasional lightning bolt shooting out from it. And you've come to the end of your watch.
All right. So I'm gonna toss the stick to the side because fuck that. And I'm going to use Druidcraft to make the grass or flowers or whatever at Gobs' face grow, so it basically tickles her nose. To try and wake her up that way.
Gobs, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Yep, you got it. Give me a moment. There's Constitution.
Gobs, you wake up with a dandelion in your nose and you're sneezing like multiple times.
Was that was this really sort of spitting and trying to get it out? Was that
Yeah.
really necessary? I
As you
gave you a
catch
stick.
your breath, you actually suck the dandelion inside of your nose, and you go to pull it out, but the flowery part gets stuck up in your sinuses. So now you're doing that thing where you plug your ears and plug your nostril and trying to blow it out.
Yeah.
And get that weird kind of dandelion milk leaking out of your face. It's weird. It's a very uncomfortable feeling.
I think at one point she's gonna try and use the doors to try and get it out.
Yeah.
You went in too long. You can do this.
It just forms a big blade, and you get the impression it's like it can cut it out.
Oh boy.
Was that really necessary? I gave you a stick.
I mean, no?
Then why?
Well, you gave me a bush. Thought I'd
I
give you a
didn't
flower.
do that. No.
I'm talking to your arm. You basically destroyed its flower.
Right about then, I want perception checks from both of you. Not with advantage or disadvantage. This is hearing based.
I don't hear anything.
You don't
I'm
hear it,
still
Gobs,
sneezing.
but Talah, you do. You hear as a speedboat streaming down the river at full tilt, go streaming through down the river, somewhat near you.
Somewhat near us.
Yeah, because you guys aren't like right on the riverbank. I didn't think. I figured you'd be back from the river a little bit.
We can probably hear it coming closer, right?
Yeah, you hear it come close and then zip past.
Can I do something as I start hearing it though?
Sure.
Can I start running towards the river, going, Nissa, wait!
Yeah, you certainly can. Hold on a second.
Because I can. That's probably Nissa.
Either that or smugglers.
Ah, well.
All right.
It's scary.
No. Nexus. If Nissa saw somebody standing on the bank yelling that she didn't know in this situation, would she stop or would she keep going?
It's a random person yelling her name.
In most situations, probably. But given that it's Katarina she's out to get.
Oh, man.
No, I don't think so.
I didn't think so either. So yeah, you do make slight eye contact with this short, burly woman in full plate armor with a horrifyingly scary-looking hammer over her shoulder as she's driving a two-person speedboat at full throttle down the river.
I know what Katarina is!
She's gone before you have a chance to yell that. But yeah, she zips down
I still yell it.
Yeah. She didn't hear you on that back end, but yeah, as she zips down the river.
Well, shit. I will walk back to camp. I don't know if Gobx followed me or anything, so...
Yeah, when you took off, yeah, I followed. What? Well, it would be like lacking behind because of sneezing, and I didn't hear the initial thing. So I'll be arriving when she's passed, I imagine.
Probably.
What happened?
That was, I think that was Nissa in her boat. She did not look happy. She did hear me, though. I think.
How did she get all this way that fast? How fast was she going?
Well, given how disturbed the water still is, they're pretty damn fast.
All right.
And there's probably something else you should know, because I feel like that might have been something even more pressing. I basically saw this moving thunderstorm thing towards the city of Gilgamesh. I think Carrie's on his way there.
Give me an Arcana check. Okay. Yep, you don't know what it was.
It's a moving storm thing, and given where it came from and where it's moving towards, I'm guessing it's scary.
I mean, that just proves that the misdirection worked.
For now.
I mean, what's he gonna do? Level the city? Shit, he might actually try and do that, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's hope he can't.
Yeah. Let's hope that there's not another sibling of his living there.
Oh, in the biggest city, yeah, probably. I'm gonna take out my phone. Do I have any signal out here?
No.
Nope. I didn't imagine so. Okay, so that's a horrifying thought. At least from there, he's gonna have to guess where we went.
I want you, Gobs, to give me either an insight or perception check, whichever's higher.
They are the same. You're getting an insight.
Oh, God.
It's not hard to see this, but something you do notice as you and Talah kind of walk back towards the fire. Once there's enough light on her face, you can see tear streaks on her cheeks where she's been crying. Her eyes are red.
Oh,
Talah, you've been crying?
what? No. I've just been keeping watch.
You can insight check that if you want. Give me that deception check, Talah. With disadvantage.
I'm looking at clear evidence. The alternative is allergies on a druid.
Ah, man! I was close, though.
This lion hussy. Can you believe her? Yeah, she's obviously lying.
I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, I'm not going to press you for it, but you've obviously been crying. I imagine you'd rather talk to Nate about this. You seem to like him. And I guess I get why you wouldn't want to talk to me about it, so...
No, I don't really want to talk to Nate about it either.
Well, you're going to need to talk to someone about it. Because it's obviously getting to you. Stuff like that shouldn't be bottled up. It's bad for you. Really bad. I know.
That's some weird advice coming from you.
Yeah, I guess it is. Look, if you've no one else to talk to, at least talk to Otho. He's a doctor, the whole confidentiality thing. He's down to earth, has a good sense of things.
Well, then I won't need to find a moment where I can actually talk to him without anyone else there.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow when we start moving, just move to the back of the pack. I'll tell him that you need to talk to him. I won't tell him about why because I legitimately don't know. We'll make sure we're in the front. You guys can be in the back. Have a little
It's
talk.
not really a writing conversation.
Right.
I'll figure it out. I'm gonna
Alright.
go back to sleep.
Should I let him know you want to talk when the time is? So he'll also be trying to make time for it.
Yeah, I think otherwise it won't happen.
All right. I'll let him know. Sleep tight.
Keep an eye on the sky.
Oh, and next time, please use the stick.
I'll think about it.
All right, so Talah goes and beds down to catch up on her rest. Gobs, you're taking the latest and darkest part of the night.
Yep. And just as a reminder, I have Devil Sight, so double dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
And
Anything
yeah,
you'd like to
yeah, there is something I'd like to do during the night.
masturbate furiously?
No.
Oh.
I'm gonna head a bit towards the edge of the camp, but still facing it so I can see everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna just try and see how the arm can move, what it can do. Now I'm in a place where no one's observing it, and I'm actually gonna, put it through its paces, kinda.
Yeah, so you're able to manipulate it in any way that would match up with the things me and you have talked about.
Yeah.
You're starting to get more comfortable with it. You're starting to think less of Exodios is there, I'm here, and it's we. You're getting a lot more we's, right? We can do this, we can do that. And some of that towards the end of that starts to change from we to I. I do want a perception check from you.
Yeah, you will get that. Just a normal one, I'm guessing.
Yep.
10.
So, Neap wasn't like a giant city, but it was a town, right? So you've never been like out in the middle of nowhere with no artificial lighting, nothing like that before. And
No.
after you finish with your exercises and whatnot, you kind of sit down, the fire's to your back, and you're sitting on a log, and you kind of wrench your head back a little bit. And even through the purplish glow of the magical dome, you can see stars, right? And you've never seen the sky this clear before. So the difference is where most people, their eyes would be drawn to all the bright lights in the sky. Your eyes are drawn to the darkness in between those stars. And you get a sense, like when you're looking past those bright lights, you're looking at home, at the void. And there's a comfort in that thought that even those distant stars are still contained within the void. It is bigger than all of it, everything put together. And knowing that the arm that you've got came from something that big and that omnipresent, that's a little bit of comforting, right? Because you've never had, it's all of that nothingness, all of that power, all of that strength is now supporting you. And you haven't really ever had support. You've never had someone else that wanted you to survive and to be good and to have things and to do what you want and things like that, right? So there's a comforting feeling that emanates through you as you stare into the darkness and the gaps between stars.
I think at some point she's just gonna lie down and look up for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point reach the arm up. The right arm?
Mm-hmm. And when you do, you can see it actually forms around the stars, so it starts to blend in with that purplish haze. That's the gap between stars as it blends in with the void.
Not so scary now.
And about then, it's time for you to get Otho up for his watch.
All right, up we go. She's gonna lean in just a bit close to Otho. Otho,
Yes.
it's time for your watch. Almost morning.
Ah. Thank you, Gobs.
Before you take your watch, look, when Talah woke up, some things happened. We saw Speedboat go by with a gnome with a big hammer in it. Like, really irresponsibly fast. And she has seen a big...
That would horrify you, because if Gob says it's irresponsibly fast, that's got to be stupidly fast.
And...
Cyntari.
Sorry? And she also saw a big old lightning cloud, along with some flapping of wings, I think she said, that was heading south towards the city. we're both thinking that might be, Carrie. The big old dragon said he was a brother, so big lightning storm, sound of wings. Checks out, right?
I suppose so.
Means the misdirection has probably worked, and if we had gone north, he would likely have caught us. And the final thing, Talah had been crying before she woke me. She denied it, but she had, and I've asked her to talk to someone about it. I don't think she trusts me enough to talk to me about it, given what happened last. We tried bonding over something. You're the medical professional. You're used to talking to patients, so I told her to talk to you. And I promised her I'd let you know that she wants this talk at some point. She likely wants it done discreet. Just if you can make the time for her, I think it's really important.
All right. Well, I'll see when the journey allows us to have a moment. Converse.
I'm sorry for putting all of this on you. I'd do it myself if I knew how. But
Gobx, it is all right to try and find someone better suited for certain tasks. It's not that I believe you're bad at it, but knowing when to ask for help is good.
No, I am bad at it. I dealt with my emotions for years by going to bars, forgetting everything, and fighting until I couldn't stand. No, I'm bad at dealing with emotions. I'm gonna go to bed now. Have a good watch.
Oh, I definitely will. And I will say, I'm quite impressed she managed to get all this way in a
speedboat?
But alas.
Yeah. I want to see that thing. I want to ride it. Not that speed. Oh, God, no.
Well, maybe if she is so inclined. Though, we'll see what we get to in the morning. She has overtaken us after all. But sleep tight, Gobs.
Will do.
As Opho's gonna stand up and go outside and sit and enjoy the dawn as it comes.
So, nothing particularly fancy happens during your watch. It is, as always, wonderful when that sun begins to peek up. Just washes your lethargy away, and you enjoy that. But other than that, that's nothing else of moment happens before you all begin to wake up.
Beautiful. Hey! It's
Hey!
Hey! I don't know why we're doing that.
My man!
It's the voice version of a group hug.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey!
Huggies.
But it's morning, so recover any spell slots, missing hit points, things like that. Abraham, as I told you in our separate little conversation, you wake up, you were in the code book, and you fell asleep sitting up. And
the cards, we're punching. We need them.
And the other thing to know is that you have a blanket draped over your head.
It's dark. Wait, who? Hey, who turned out the sun? Nathaniel. Oh, no.
Abraham, you have a blanket over your head.
Oh, of course. It makes much more sense than indeed snuffing out the literal sun. The punch card, we need them.
The what?
The punch cards. There are cards with codes on them that interface with the structures of the cube itself, and it passes through energies. Without the punch cards, the cube's code and everything in it's useless.
Okay. Do we know
Alright.
where these are?
No. Wait, hang on a second. He flips back to the book, starts digging through. Is there any indication where they might be?
Give me a moment.
Or maybe like an indication of places it could be.
The library.
Hey, we just left one.
You see reference that there are 2 copies of the punch cards.
Mm-hmm.
One at the main constructions facility, and the other in WPA-1.
Well, I suppose the Ethereum function which blew up contained one set of them, but there's a separate one. WPA-1.
What did you call it?
WPA-1.
WPA1. Thinking really hard. No.
Is that an abbreviation?
I'm just reading exactly what's here. Is it inferred that it could be an acronym or something?
That's just what it's referred to. It refers to a company that specialized in secure data locations and at a facility called WPA-1.
Well, I guess it's a term to keep an eye out for. WPA1.
Yes, if I remember what he... I may have transposed a letter there. I have problems with that sometimes. It's supposed to be WAP1, and I messed up. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, there's something to keep an eye out for. How'd you sleep?
It was restful, deep, and filled with darkness. But I think that was readily explained by the blanket.
Yes, you're welcome. I tried to get you to sleep. You refused. So when you fell asleep, I just threw that over you. Do breakfast.
Yes, I have rations aplenty.
Ooh, ration.
Indeed.
That reminds me. Does anyone want to try this thing?
Bad Nari.
Try what thing?
Gobx is gonna hold up the bar of oxen feet that she's just taking a small nipple from.
No.
It's supposedly very nutritious and has water in it. Well, tastes like wet sawdust.
Aha.
Time to make
I-
oatmeal.
So, perception checks from everybody, please.
So we see a mushroom cloud in the direction of.
This is the direction of the city of Gilgamesh.
So,
I meant the direction of Healmbrim.
Oh well.
so Nate, you don't notice anything because you're eating the dry ration, and it's just disappointing, right? It's just so distracting you
It's
because
just
you're
a
just getting,
ration.
you're
Wasn't he making
almost
oatmeal?
yeah, but still, it's oatmeal, it's bland.
If only you
It's-
guys would let me make oatmeal instead of this.
Yeah. For everybody else, you do distinctly smell smoke. And for Milla, as you look to the west, you see billowing clouds of a large fire coming from almost the due west, which at this point is basically Healmbrim.
That's not a good sign, right? That's a bad sign.
I think that's a bad sign. Especially with who I thought was Nissa's just cruising past last night.
All right, not free at all. Let's get going.
Right.
I think his name was Fluffles.
And by the way, Nate, if you don't mind, I honestly wouldn't mind your oatmeal one of these days. These rations are getting very boring very quickly.
It just starts gleaming. Just really?
Yeah, sure.
Heck
Don't
yeah.
give him false hope.
I do mean that I want to taste his oatmeal again. It's been a while. You don't have a long memory, you know. It can't have been that
we are
bad.
in the forest, so I can find fresh berries and whatnot to put in it.
Yeah. See, he makes a point.
I mean, the berries are good.
Why are you this mean about his cooking?
I just
Nate,
don't
I
like
need you to
oatmeal.
do a Constitution save versus the emotional damage that Talah's just done to you.
Who of us?
It was a joke. Don't worry about it.
Did
Alright,
you say
so-
Constitution?
Yes, it was a joke. Yeah, don't worry about it.
No.
As your heart is broken in 4 places now. All of them have Talah written on them. She just hurts you every day.
Yeah, until the day you finally have peace.
Talah knows exactly what day that is.
It makes me
so does
sneeze,
Nate.
and don't you ever let me forget it.
So as you guys break down camp and everything and start to get out, are you guys still going to continue to head towards Healmbrim?
Yes.
All right. Nate, give me a survival check.
Okey-dokey. Yeah, my heart is just not in it.
A day passes. Isn't that Oak Spring? What was the name of that town?
Cedar
Pine
Spring.
Cedar Spring.
Cedar Spine.
Cedar Spine. We just see the sign.
How
Look,
are we in
Cedar Spine.
Burgoyne?
He just looks. It's one of those little clip together things. He looks down at the map. He looks back up. We're standing on the docks of Neap. How?
I mean, would Carrie expect
So-
us to go back to Neap?
I don't think you would.
So Nate, as you guys pack up and you go, all right, guys, let's go this way. Everybody else goes, Nate, the smoke is that way. And you're like, I knew that. I just got a little turned around.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, Talah
Yeah,
asking that question.
sure.
Yeah, okay.
I am
No, I'm
just
fine.
just gonna follow this river.
Nate, we're following the smoke.
It's fine to
Yes,
follow the
the
river as
river.
long as it's in the
I hear you.
direction of the smoke.
Awesome.
This
So
is-
you guys
this
are
is
making
Nate.
pretty good time.
This is why I can't follow the tracks.
It doesn't take too long after you guys start to head down that pathway. That like everybody can start to smell the smoke. It smells of burning wood. Maybe Othokent, you're the only one
Yeah.
who would know the smell of this group. It sounds like it starts to smell like roasted flesh.
Oh,
fuck.
Reminds you of supper time back when you were a child.
oh no. We need to hurry as much as possible. Even more now.
So, it's not too long after that the woods start to give way to plains. You start to see on either side of the river farms, various different crops and things like that. Sometimes cattle. You start to get in sight of Healmbrim. which sits nestled right next to the mouth of the river as it goes into the lake that's up there. You can see a couple things. About the time you come over one of the hills that kind of starts to lead down into the lower part of the delta. Number one, you do see a sharp bend in the river, and you see a crashed and completely like burned up speedboat, where maybe somebody didn't quite see the turn in the river and crashed it, and it burst into flames. And they just let it burn as they continue to march on to Healmbrim. You do see smoke coming up from the city itself. You can see that the city, or the town, it's more of a town, has probably 15 or 20 buildings. At least 7 of them are smoldering fires.
You mean it had?
Yes, it had that many buildings. There's at least 7 of them that are they're completely burnt to the ground.
Oh.
This is bad, right?
Really?
Very, very bad.
So we going in there to save people from the fire, or what are we doing?
Well,
And
that
to be
seems
clear,
good.
because you guys are on a high enough hill that you could see in pretty well. It's like this is like the fires have kind of burned themselves out. They're not active like roaring fires at this point, and the smoke you're seeing is just coming from the ashes of the buildings that have fallen in on themselves.
Could probably go and see if we can, at the very least, help some of the people.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Since everything's better with the visual, is that appropriate? Sound screen?
Yeah, with more fire, but yeah.
More active fire, but that kind of devastation already there.
Yep.
Okay.
Concentrated in a specific part of the town.
Right.
We really caused this?
Yeah, looks like it.
Well, we didn't know. We make the best decisions we can with what's in front of us.
I mean, hopefully the only people who were hurt were bad people.
That's a low chance. If there's anything to be done, it's down there, though. Sorry, Otho.
I was just about to say I can at least admire that optimism a little.
Is that or despair?
A little of both. It's a spice of life. And Abraham starts walking down.
Yeah. Talah, Nate, let's go
hurry.
find your friend.
Right.
That's a good one, Talah.
So yeah, as you guys begin walking, you guys are on kind of a pathway and a road now that leads from the various rural farms into the town. As you guys are heading in, you guys are getting close to the outer walls and everything. A familiar trio is actually walking out of the city and walking down the road the opposite direction. You see Ursa, Scant, and Stephanie, our bounty hunters from last time, are leaving the city and headed downriver.
And that group was only just the 3 of them, right? There was never a 4th. Okay.
No, as far as you know, it's just the 3 of them.
Well, at least they made it out. Why?
I mean, they were the ones who had the person. Like, at the very least, we can ask what happened.
I don't think they want to speak to us, Nate. I think they're kind of pissed. Unless you want to get close to stabbing my cat over there.
As you get closer, Ursa looks up and his eyes go bright and goes, "Look, Scant! It is our friends from the Tree Spine place. Hello, friends, including Grumpy Orc Girl."
Well, you know what? That's a great start. Oh, Nate, sure, go talk to him. Pushes Nate forwards.
Scant has already started to pull his knives out. Now, put the claws back in, Scant. That is not needed at this time. And where do you be heading, my friends?
Well, it's Nate who's gone over, so I think it is.
Nate was pushed forward.
I trust you, Nate. You can do this.
Hello,
Nate
quiet.
is completely silent and just looks like an ashamed 5-year-old.
Hello, quiet human
How do you
boy.
think Talah's looking?
What can I do for you? You seem like you are nervous. There are bushes around to pee in without anyone seeing you, if that is what your issue is. Nothing to be embarrassed about. Part of being alive. All of people pee, even girls.
Gobx is going to go forward. He's just really impressed by your arms. Want some tips on lifting? Either way, that's not important right now. We were
always wear a belt and have a spotter. There's no point in getting hurt. That does nothing to increase your mass. More protein, red meat, eggs, that sort of thing, and make sure not to push it too hard. You do no more damage than help. Also, having job where you struggle against other strong things makes you stronger. So capture people for a living. It does well. My back hurts sometimes, and I have to put up with the way Scant smells, but other than that, it's very healthy.
But yeah, we were headed towards Healmbrim.
Yes, nice little village. Nice little village.
Yeah, a bit on fire right now, though.
Oh, yes. Very, very sad. But we got paid. Hey. So fires are mostly out. Nobody who people liked seemed to die. But it's okay.
All right. That's good to hear then. And good to see you guys got out in time.
Yes. Very good. Very good. We handed over little angry wizard elf girl and got paid. We slept the evening, and then things exploded, and then we had breakfast, and I helped put out fire or two because only I can prevent these fires, and we did so, and I saved a cat, and it wasn't Scant. I don't know where he was the whole time. But we did what we could to help with fires, and now it's time for us to go back to the city and get new job to get paid.
All right. Sounds like you guys
sandwiches.
got it made. Fair warning, big thunderstorm was headed towards the city, just if you want to avoid that.
Do not worry, for Scant's fur stands on head when lightning about to strike. That's one of two good uses for him.
Practical.
All right. Well, either way, good to see you doing well. Don't want to keep you from your job and all.
Yes, we will go get new job, catch other person. Who knows? Maybe that person explode too. It's very interesting. Never dull moments. Stephanie just goes, nobody exploded, you idiot. Let's just go. And Scant is just thumbing his blades and glaring. I think this one's going to piss himself. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get a contract to come find you one of these days.
Oh, I hope you do.
So do I. I'll be able to smell his cowardice from a mile away.
You know, Catman, there are other emotions than annoyingly edgy.
You know what? You remind me of somebody who I made into boots once. I could use some new boots. Now, Scant, none of that. We have no profit in attacking these people. So we will not do so. That is our creed. That is what we do. We find people for money, and that's it. No money, no finding. I see nothing. Now we walk. Why didn't we buy horses? Why didn't you buy horses? Because they don't have any horses for riding. All their horses are farm horses. We talked about this. They would not work for long distance riding. Their hooves not conditioned for it. The cobbler goes, yeah, he knows his horses, which is weird because none of you have speak with animals, but at least Nate understands that he said that.
I have speech of beast and leaf. I might understand
times?
somewhat. I have that. I just have that.
You get the impression that the cobbler said is impressed by this guy's horse knowledge. But yeah, but they pass by you guys without incident, other than
They can understand me.
Scant being Scant, and Ursa being gloriously Ursa, and they continue walking past you guys. But yeah, so now there's nothing between you and the city itself.
All right, well, seems things have gone better than expected.
Good thing that didn't turn into a fight.
I'm gonna kill that cat.
Oh, I would have joined.
Yeah. I really want a piece of his hide. Not literally.
Stop your arm from eating him. No.
Like I said, not literally.
All right.
So,
as you guys proceed down to the town, it is a hustle and bustle of activity. You can see people still, doing cleanup. Some people that may have gotten hurt or exhaustion or got smoke in their lungs. Different people covered in soot from putting out the fires and whatnot.
I would like to do something special. Sounds
Sure.
good. So the manifest mind, I'm mentally commanded to move around as a bonus action, so it's something I have to do. But I can see through its eyes, its senses, without any special action. It just happens. And there's no statement that it disorients me or anything like that. And I just figured that'd be a drone's eye view of helping and also keeping an eye on our shit and making sure nobody's coming up on behind us and stuff like that. So I would like to actively be, watching the group from above and also the surroundings around the group and the periphery to maybe help people with just finding stuff as we're helping.
Sure. Yeah, the buildings that were on fire, you can tell they're nothing but ash and charcoal is all that's left. Sorry, I've got the sneezes. But yeah, so you're able to keep an eye on things. Nobody's paying much mind to you guys at all as you guys walk into the town.
Huh.
So I'm guessing you look for the mayor.
Yeah.
Or Otho, do you want to help people out first?
I mean, I suppose you could go look for the mayor while I try and make sure no one's gonna die from monoxide poison.
I'm gonna join you also. I'm technically still employed by you.
Sure. And all in all, you are the ones who had contact with Nissa, so if anything happens, well, your best
All right.
shot. In that
So
regard.
so Gobs and Otho are going to go and start finding the people that are suffering from exhaustion, minor burns, inhalation, that kind of stuff, and work with them. So that's awesome. Otho, since you're going to have your paid assistant with you, I'll let you go ahead and do a medicine check with advantage.
Guidance.
Guidance. Wow.
Yeah, with the two of you put together, you guys kind of sweep through, and as quickly as the disaster destroyed the town, you are just as quickly able to help address people. You've got your doctor's kit with you, so you hand out a couple inhalers to help people that are really having trouble breathing. You teach people how to use a bag to help facilitate breathing, and you're able to help get most of their people back up and running, salved properly, bandaged properly. You actually teach a couple people for like your second and third degree burn victims. You teach people how to treat those, and they're watching you, and they pick up on it so quickly. So yeah, you're making a huge impact on the recovery of those that are injured and exhausted. So the people that are going to go look for the mayor,
Yeah.
how are you going to do that? What are you guys doing to find said mayor?
Find biggest building. That is usually what the town hall or something like that is like.
So when you look across all of these buildings, you can tell there were two buildings that were relatively close to each other that were quite large. Key word in that sentence is were.
Yeah.
So you kind of get the impression as you look around and see, you still see inns, you still see restaurants, you still see, shops and houses and things like that. But you do not see a jail, a courthouse, a mayor's office, or any mansions, as they have been obliterated. As you guys are kind of looking around, though, and you're kind of wandered over into the section where all of the buildings have been burnt, Talah specifically,
Yeah.
I need a perception check from you with advantage.
Okay. There it is. 23.
So you notice there's these group of guys pushing a wagon that's full of like shoveled up refuse and debris and stuff. These guys are awful dirty as they're pushing this. But despite how dirty they are, one of them is familiar to you. It's actually kind of a shock to your system, because this is somebody that you didn't think you'd ever see again for a couple different reasons. But it is a face that you grew up seeing all the time. You're looking into the dirtied, troubled, tired, exhausted
No.
face of a tease.
So,
No fucking way.
Your previously thought to be dead brother is shoveling ashes up and putting them into a wheelbarrow right in front of you.
So as Talah notices that, she is just going to freeze immediately. Just almost like she's starstruck in a way. Just completely frozen.
Nexus, or
Snake
Nexus, I'm
notices?
sorry, Nate, you obviously noticed that Talah has stopped moving and is staring at somebody who, like, you're like, really? That guy? He's not that attractive.
gonna.
And that's when I want
find her
you to give me a perception check, as you look like, why is she staring at dude shoveling dirt? As you go, yeah, he's not that attractive. Come on, wait a minute. He's supposed to be dead. As you also now recognize a tease, Yarger, Talah's older brother.
What the heck is he doing here? Talah?
that can't be. He's what?
We need to talk to him now. Natus is gonna start bolting for him.
Just leaving Talah there, still frozen in place.
And as he's shoveling and you walk up, Nate, he goes, hey, watch your feet. This stuff is pretty hot. Nate?
Good day.
What? Nate, what are you doing here? This is the other side of the world from home. What are you doing? Don't.
I'm working.
Talah's not with you, is she? That's a
What
dumb
if she
question.
is?
If you're here, of course Talah's here. What? Did Dad send her to come get me and bring me back? I'm not going back,
No.
Nate.
Why not?
Because I don't want to be mayor anymore, okay? All right? I'm just out here trying to
What
make...
changed?
Huh?
What changed?
What changed? Look... I know you can't keep secrets, especially from Talah, so it's going to get back to Dad. Look, I'll be honest with you, all right? I was in Clifford, right? I was in this bar / gambling den, okay? And some jerk, right, started hitting on a girl waitress that I liked, and I got a little mouthy with him. And then as a joke, I guess, he stole my wallet. And when I confronted him on the wallet, he pulled a knife. We fought, he fell on it, and it killed him. And the next day, I found out that they were looking for him, thinking that he killed me. Because the guy kind of looked like me, and he had my wallet. So, I left.
That explains a fucking lot, you absolute moron.
Look, all right?
Oh,
I had a
I've been
bad rap.
waiting years to say that.
I had a bad rep, okay? I wasn't the smartest kid, but I had the chance to start over. So I went as far away from home as I possibly could, and I've been working here just fine. I'm an assistant.
That felt so good to say.
I'm assistant on a farm. What?
Yeah. So, who even cares about you? Sadly, there are some people that do. Do you know that your dad and sister think you're dead?
Well, what do they care? Talah never liked
And
me.
you're just
Dad was
running
going to
off.
let her... Huh?
You're just running off. You're a coward.
Look, I'm trying to live my own life, Nate. I know you wouldn't understand that. All right? Okay?
Oh.
You never grew up with any expectations on you. Nobody expects you to be anything, right? You know, all you have to do is...
To me.
Yeah, because all you ever had to do to get what you wanted in life was to follow Talah, right? She's going to take care of you. You'll be fine. You know who takes care of me? Nobody. Part of that is my fault. Part of that is their fault, all right? But as far as they know, I'm dead, all right? So I'm out here just being myself. I work. I take care of myself. I'm met a girl. She works down at the stables. She's like a 7 out of 10, right? So not bad, right in my wheelhouse. But she's nice.
Good for you.
But she's nice.
And Nate is just gonna grab him and drag him over to Talah.
Hey, Nate, you let go. Oh God. Nate, we can talk about this. You're going to ruin every. Hey, sis. Fancy seeing you here.
Look what the cat dragged in.
What cat?
The figure of speech.
You're alive?
Yes. I am indeed alive. And my name is Edward. Here.
I'm gonna punch him straight in the face.
He drops like a sack of potatoes. Oh, I think...
You absolute prick!
Oh, I think you broke it. Jeez. Is it bleeding? Nate, is it bleeding?
If it's not, I swear I'll do it again.
It's bleeding then. It's definitely bleeding. Why did you hit me? Why are you so mad at me?
Why aren't you home?
I don't want to
He's
go
running
home.
from responsibility.
It's not responsibility.
Okay, consequences of your own actions then.
What consequences? What actions deserve me to get punched in the face by my sister? Jeez, that really freaking hurt. How strong
Making
is
her
she?
believe you're dead, for one?
Look, all right, that was just to get me out of some trouble, right? By the time that guy's body gets back to mom and dad, they'll identify it as not me, right? And you guys would know I'm alive. But, outside of me not being dead, who cares where I'm at? Nobody cares.
They had a funeral for you.
Oh. What? They thought that guy was... Mom and dad thought that was me.
How would Mom know?
She's not blind. They looked at the body, right?
So when did she get home then, huh?
Well, you said they, so I just kind of figured she was home.
I was talking about the
Down this
town.
morning.
So mom still hasn't come back?
As far as I know, no.
Well, just tell dad I'm out looking for her or something.
Right.
It's not like he misses me. Not when he's got...
Talah's gonna take out her phone and call her dad.
It's not like... What? No. He tries to grab the phone. No. I don't want to talk to him.
I'm not letting him grab it.
He's
Nate
still
is
he's trying to...
restraining him.
Talah?
Hi, Dad.
Hey, are you almost home?
Not really. I'm currently on the other side of, well, dome, I suppose. Well, inside the dome, but far away. And guess who I just ran into? As she's gonna hold the phone to Atiz's ear.
I can't imagine who you ran into, and he's just shaking his head. Just shaking it. Talah, are you there? Ow, Nate, what the hell, man? That it can't be a tease. Talah, is that? That can't be him.
She's gonna take the phone back to herself. Oh,
No.
yes, it is.
But we buried him a month ago. I mean, because of how long it took the body to get here, we weren't able to, open the casket and everything. But they said they ID'd him before they sent him over.
Yeah, apparently he kind of looked like him. So they just went with it.
But he had his wallet and stuff. I've got his wallet and his ID here.
Oh,
Yeah. They identified the one who attacked Atiz as him.
What? Why hadn't he reached out?
I think he's better
This
at
is all
answering
confusing.
that.
Let me do this. I need to think about all of this, Talah, and I need to see if I can find out who that young man was and make sure his family knows. Please, Talah, figure out what's going on, and then either you or him give me a call and fill me in. But do this, please, because I'm sure you're like your mother. Sometimes once you have your mind on something, you're kind of inflexible. So try to have an open heart with him, okay? I know he doesn't always make the best choices, but he's still your brother, and we do still love him. and please tell him that I'm happy to hear that is he okay? Is he safe?
Well, he's in front of me currently, so I don't know about safe.
Yeah, just a lot like your mother. Yeah, tell him I'm happy he's okay, and figure out what's going on, and either you or him call me and let me know. And where did you say you are?
Healmbrim.
Healmbrim. That's quite literally on the exact opposite side of the Great Circle. That's okay. Is Nate still with you?
Yeah.
Okay, how's Nate? His mom was asking.
One sec. I'm gonna hand my phone off to Nate.
Yes. Hi, sir.
Nathaniel, how are you? Are you doing okay?
Generally, I am doing fine.
So that's is that really a tease?
It is. Although, if I can report, sir, honestly, he's both running from responsibility and the consequences of his actions, and he's hiding in this town under a pseudonym.
All right. Now, how's Talah?
Talah is a bit out of it, but
Bit
other than that,
emotional.
he seems
You're
okay.
getting a death glare currently as you say that.
All right. Well, I'll pass word on to your family that I spoke to you and that you're doing okay. Just try to keep her from killing him, and try to keep him from killing him. And just I'm awful proud of you. You've I wouldn't sleep well at all without you being out there with her. Okay.
Oh, thank you very much for your trust.
All right. Well,
can I get you to give a small message to my mom, by the way?
Of course.
Sorry to make it go through you.
Not a problem.
I just want to let her know that I found an old box that she made with mirrors in it. It's quite nice. Seemingly from before she married Dad.
Okay. I mean, your mother's always been kind of famous for her work, but I'll let her know.
Yeah, I'm just curious about this the thing she made. So if she could return to me with any kind of information, would be great. Tell them I love them. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Well, tell Talah I said I love you, and tell Aziz that I'm glad to hear he's okay. And then he disconnects. He hangs up the phone.
Here's your phone back. And sorry, sorry, Talah. You know I have to report to your dad. Still scares me.
Just you're gonna go back home.
No. I think Evie, you're probably gonna be an aunt.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
Just amazing.
you know, I mean, we were talking about getting married beforehand, and certain things happen. You're out on a farm. It's warm. You start, getting a little handsy in the barn.
I really don't need the details.
But yeah, it's, just like the rent. Sometimes she's a little late.
You
That's
were
probably not the
never
best
gonna
way
go
to
back
express
home,
that.
were you?
Well, what's back home for me? Mom's not there. Nothing but dad's expectations, and you're in a sister I can't live up to.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean? What am I talking about? You're always been the one. You're smarter than me. You're more responsible than me. You're better in the woods than me. You smell better than me. You know everybody in the town. Everybody likes you more than me. There is zero reason my dad should have ever even considered letting me take over as mayor. And besides, you know, you've always been up at the office with him. You've been going through everything. You've been Little Miss Mayor since you were like 12. So don't act like
I've never even wanted that role.
that. You see, that's the thing. That's the thing with you, sis, is you say that, but your actions are different. You've done everything to put your stamp on that job. And that's okay. That's okay. Sis, go live your life and be Queen Mayor. Wear your flower crown and be Daddy's little princess. All right?
I don't want to be stuck in an office.
Well, I mean, that's something for you and Dad to work out, because I've got responsibilities here.
Because you ran away. How about you actually fight for the position of mayor?
But I don't want mayor. I'm happier shoveling horse crap out for, you know, Farmer Johnson, right? And, you know, making the money I can make. I've got me a nice little apartment, right? Right? I'm probably going to have to do something a little bit different, you know, because if we do indeed have a baby on the way, well, we'll know soon enough.
What happened to you that you got so humble after lording your position over me for decades?
You know, when you run out of money and you owe it to the wrong kind of people, you start to realize, you start to get things, okay?
So it's fear. You're a coward.
No, I'm not a coward, but I had the opportunity for a clean slate, and I took it.
So when they find out you ran over here and they come for you...
Yeah, the only way they're going to find that out is if you two go and talk. And I know, Nate, you won't do it because you'll never be around those kind of people. And Talah won't do it because I'm her brother, and because deep down, she wants to be that mayor. And she knows if I stay out here having a family, then she continues to be Daddy's favorite.
Mayor.
What?
Not even once has she wanted to be mayor. We've always had plans to go out and find whatever plans and whatnot we could find.
Yeah, well, you know what? She can go make somebody else mayor. I don't care. All right? It's good to see you. I'm glad to see that you're happy and safe and all of that. I've got to go, you know, we're doing cleanup here. So the idiot mayor here, speaking of idiot mayors, this guy kidnaps a wizard, right? Who's to marry her, right? Get this, Nate. And she's already married to some dwarf chick. The dwarf chick shows up last night, breaks open a wall at the jail, lets the wizard go. Wizard starts fireballing everything, and then they teleport out of here. Mayor's dead. Half the guards in the city are dead or hurt. It's a mess, but I'm getting double time, and I'm going to need that to pay for all that baby formula. Don't worry, sis. If it's a girl, I'll name it after you. So can you let me go so I can get back to work so I don't lose my job? Is that too much to ask?
He's going to punch him 3 times in the face.
Oh. His nose is definitely broken and definitely bent. He's like, okay, it really hurts. I don't... What do you want me to do? Talah? Is that what you want me to? You want me to just up and leave? Leave my girl? Leave my job? Leave these people? Go back, see Dad obviously get found by the loan sharks that I owe money to End up being face down in a gutter with a knife in my back, huh? Is that what'll make you happy? Me to be actually dead?
So Talah has been very angry, and this
man.
just kind of pushes her over the edge. And she is wild shaping, just losing control basically, and wild shaping into a dire wolf, and just basically jumping at him, pinning him down to the ground, just growling in his face.
He spits blood out from Nate hitting him. He just spits out on her. All right, fine, do it, kill me. I don't care. And then you have to go and tell your niece or nephew why you killed their daddy, huh? Go ahead, do it. Do it.
That's a very calm reaction for someone never having seen Talah wild shape before.
I didn't think about that. He wouldn't have seen that before.
No.
So he wouldn't say that. He's going to start crying, and he's going to pee himself. Oh, she's a werewolf. Why is she a werewolf, Nate? There's not even a moon. I don't understand.
Hey, honestly, just smiles.
So yeah, he's just blubbering now.
Yeah, I'm just growling, just right up to his face.
Abraham, you are there seeing all of this.
I know, but being so high up in the air, I was not presuming I was hearing everything. And
you can see me do that.
that's kind of where I'm drawing the attention line, going, okay, this is not just a shakedown for information. I'm whatever they're doing here. I'm not seeing the tears from that high up, et cetera, et cetera. But I see the wolf now, and Abraham's going to go over there.
Call a doctor.
Oh, so need you.
Oh. Sure, coming.
Seems that they have somebody serious. She's a wolf and pinned him down.
Yeah, when you get there, you see somebody that's obviously got a broken nose, has lost control of their bodily functions, and is weeping uncontrollably. And has a dire wolf on top of him.
You've got him. Back off.
So it doesn't seem like that man can fight back much, Talah. Could you please get off of him?
I'm gonna growl at Otho and then go back to growling at the tease.
Oh, no. We are not doing this.
Hang on a second, Otho.
Please stand back for a bit.
Abraham's going to be a brave old man, and he's not going to give a shit if he gets hurt. And he's just going to walk up to there, and he's going to kneel down next to Talah and say, whatever you do to him, you better be prepared to do to me. And it's just a dead-ass look in her face.
It will take a moment, but she'll back off. Slowly.
Now, Abraham's going to grab that kid by his throat and haul him up onto his feet. He's going to drag him over to a burnt-out wall and slam him up against it and say, now you listen here, you little son of a bitch. I do not give a shit who you are, but you will treat them with respect. They've been trying to talk to you for several minutes, and you've been nothing but disrespectful and dismissive. You will give them the due that they're deserved, because I will serve you otherwise if you don't. I like to claim advantage.
With advantage, yeah. I'll give you advantage on that.
I don't care if he doesn't believe me, I'll enforce it. I don't care if it's weak. I will reinforce it.
That's all good. Yeah, he is scared, and you get the impression he's more scared about the fact that Talah listened to you than anything you're saying.
Now, I throw him back onto his knees in front of the group. As we circle around him. Listen.
So, Talah, are you like leaving, or were you just backing away?
Talah is walking away from the scene and basically getting to the edge of town. Just needs to get away from all this for a bit.
Yeah, but Nate's still there, so I still turn to the group and I tell them to listen.
At ease.
Yeah.
How about you have a little talk and you actually tell your girlfriend actually are, and we
She
can
knows.
talk about is already in on your little scam. That is perfect.
What? Huh?
It's not a
So-
scam, man. I just came out. I got away, found a job, and
Your
I found a
cowardice.
girl.
John, what do you want to say?
All right, this is enough. I don't know what's going on here. But why are you bullying some random guy and breaking his bones?
This is not a random guy. This is Talah's brother, who was presumed dead.
And trying to murder him is the solution? Do we hate him? Has he killed anyone?
Well, indirectly, someone died because of him.
Okay,
Uh,
how?
But
He fell on a
we are not
knife.
trying to kill him.
Nate, you have to
Needs
realize
to own up for his mistake and go
That's
home.
that's his decision to make, and we'll talk about that, but we are not like regular people, Nate. You have to remember that. You could have killed him. Look at him.
What
He looks
face
like you
hurt?
threw a cinder block in his face, for God's sake. Please, just... Please, just 1 second. 1 second. You, I don't know your name. Just don't die.
Right. As you cast the healing spell, his injuries heal, and his nose straightens, and all of that. He goes, "Oh, that feels a lot better."
I don't. You said he accidentally caused someone's death, and he's running away from home for reasons unbeknownst to me. But beating the man till you break his nose, and he's bloodied and bruised, and heckling at his family because they accept him. What is this? It's all right if you want to be mad at him because he did something wrong. It's all right if you want to yell, scream, discuss. Well, not discuss. Argue. That's the word. But this, Nate, this is abhorrent.
Yes, he is.
He might be, but why are you being it too, then?
He needs to go home to his grieving father.
Does his father now know he is alive?
Yes.
Could they perhaps start with a phone call or something to discuss what happened?
Perhaps. But part of me thinks that he's just gonna run away again.
Did you
Because
come at
apparently
this?
that's what he does.
I know I don't know him, but did you combat him with this as a suggestion in any kind way, or did you just immediately go to breaking the poor bloke's body?
Well, I didn't hear the conversation, but they went to immediately attacking him. They were very aggressive.
No. We tried to talk some sense into him, and he was being... I don't even have a word for it.
Disrespectful.
But the response was what you saw.
Okay, so let me. I'm gonna try and collect my thoughts here, and either of you, I look at both Nate and Atis. Stop me if I get something wrong or something needs to be changed here. So, the fellow, Talah's brother, left home after accidentally murdering someone. Correct?
I left home and was gone for a while, and then got in a fight with somebody who fell on a knife and died.
Mm-hmm.
And what
Inside
about your
check.
gambling debt?
Inside check, please.
Go for it.
I'm gonna do
He-
one too, just because. Oh, not advantage. So 11.
He is telling the truth as far as you can tell.
All right.
All right. So someone fell on a knife and accidentally died from that. After what? Why did you get into this fight, sir?
I might have owed him a lot of money.
All right.
And by might have, I mean I did, Mr. Lizard Doctor.
My name's Othokent.
Wow, you hit me really hard.
No, I am a lizard. That is not wrong.
Oh,
Don't worry.
that's I'm sorry
You
about your
don't-
condition.
You don't have to be. I enjoy it quite a bit. Alas,
No, I'm trying to
So-
be more accepting of the less fortunate races. So
Can I punch him just
Mm.
once?
no, I'm going to move beyond that.
Okay.
I have to see that part of you still hasn't changed.
Ignorance is not fought off with violence, it's fought off with knowledge. I'm creating a better image of my race by talking to him and fixing up his nose. But I
Oh,
digress. So, he
Is
fled.
that why people keep trying to get me to read books?
Yes. Anyways,
He fixed up his nose, sure. Grabs his nose and corrects it.
Oh,
it's
oh,
What's
Stop-
did
stop. Stop it, Nathaniel. So, you
when
had
did he
this
get
death,
strong.
and you ran away from it, which after accidentally someone got murdered, so you took the opportunity, I can assume, to start over.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got a moderately hot girl knocked up. Which is all right. She's, she's cute and she's nice. And she smells good.
Well,
And-
the two first parts are more, well, the nice and cute parts are more important than her looks, I suppose, but still, I digress. So, you've started a new life here, you have a child on the way,
Maybe.
and
Maybe. We're not sure. It's pretty early in things.
fair enough, but assumptions are made. But so you made a new life for yourself with everyone back home, assuming you were dead.
Made a new life for somebody else too, Nate? And he elbows you, Nate.
Sir, please don't make this worse for
Don't
yourself.
make me rearrange your face again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little confuzzled. Confuzzled?
At this point, Opho's gonna hold on to his shoulders and just pull him a bit away from Nate. All right, so
Oh, wow. You're a big lizard.
indeed I am, but
19 strength.
I am the
Also, he
strongest
smells like
amongst-
pee. It's awful.
So, how did you manage to make everyone believe you were dead then?
The guy who tussled with me had stolen my wallet. And I guess he looked enough like me that because he had my wallet, I just ran when he got stabbed. I guess they thought he was me. And I just didn't correct anybody because no one cares about me back home. They're better off without me because I'm a screw up. So I, hired on for a few boats, made it to the city. Found that it's hard to do anything in the city if you don't have proper ID. So then I hired onto a boat that ended up here. And then I started working for a farmer. And, it's not as fancy as Dad's house and free food and all of that stuff. But, the work's honest. The girl's good. The food's okay. Yeah, I come home smelling like horse crap, but a shower and a good meal and a warm bed, that's not so bad, is it?
I mean, if you're true in your intentions of staying here and taking care of it, that's at least part of it. That's good.
Insight.
As far as you can tell, he's telling the truth.
Better insight checks than Sean. Jeez.
The iron insight was not his strong point.
What?
Oh,
Sean's strong point was also insight.
Yeah,
So
in theory.
Theory.
Yeah, in practice I
So-
rolled like shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
so gathering up all the things, you had a lot of debt going on at home. You didn't feel welcome at home, and you felt like no one liked you at home. And you had expectation pushed upon you for something you didn't want to do at home.
Well, yeah, but that's like, I'm not saying it's their fault at home. I mean,
No, I'm
Nate
not
will
blaming
tell
them.
you, I'm not a very nice person. I mean, I've been trying to do better since the whole knifey guy thing, but
Hmm.
you know,
And considering he was a loan shark of duplicitous character to begin with,
I don't know
so
what that word means.
he wasn't a good person either.
Oh yeah, no, he was a jerk. Like he made me look like a good guy.
So, what happened was that you took the chance for a new life at the expense of someone who is even worse than you, and used that to start a new life over here.
Yeah,
And even to those closest to you, you didn't care to correct the mistake of them finding you dead.
I mean, it's not like I made their lives better by being
No.
alive.
Maybe you don't believe so, but even if you believe they don't like you, you are still their family, and they would have enjoyed to know that you were still alive. Don't you start, Nate. I can understand why you're angry, but I believe this is too far.
Look, I mean, maybe I was hoping maybe things would die down, and I didn't know that they thought he was. I knew they thought he was dead, but I didn't think like Dad and Talah would think I was dead. Like I figured I was getting a head start, right? And then once they identified the body, said that it wasn't me, then the jig would be up, but hopefully I would be far enough away where I couldn't be found again, right? I didn't expect him to a funeral and all of that stuff. I didn't expect Talah to randomly stumble upon me here. And, once Isabel told me that, things were running a bit behind schedule and we're going to have a baby, maybe, obviously I was going to reach out eventually once I thought it was safe for everybody to let Dad know and Talah know, because they're the good people in the family.
Did you consider that the loan sharks might actually go for your family?
Well, number one, no, but number two, Dad's got the money, and number three, who the hell's gonna try to make Talah do anything? We're like me trying to talk this wall to get up and do a dance.
Please, Othokent.
Please, what?
Another rearrangement of his face.
No, 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 no.
Can't
Nope.
believe the bullshit he's spouting.
Yeah,
I
well,
can.
Nate, I don't understand why you're hitting me. I don't see how that's gonna change anything.
I
well-
don't like what he did, granted. I don't have a personal connection like you and Talah. So I might be a bit, well, not biased. I'm actually completely impartial to this. I believe
You
what he
broke
did
your
was
dad's heart.
Yeah, well, I didn't expect that to happen.
it was a mistake of his judgment.
So own up to it.
Well,
He didn't know he
what do you
had
want
to
me to
own
do?
up to
you,
it.
you want me to what? Walk back in? What happens if I do go back to Dad's and the loan sharks do find me there? You think if they come to collect and I don't have the money, what do you think they're gonna do to me?
Well,
you think Dad
didn't
wants
you
to
just
see
say
me
that your
butchered in
dad
a
has the
yard?
money?
Because just because he's got it doesn't mean he's gonna give it to me. Last time he gave me money and I might have taken extra, I went and blew it and screwed it all up. All right? You're not gonna give me the money. And even if he would, I wouldn't take it. All right? I've taken enough. So, you know, Tala can be mad at me for this if she wants, but what's going to happen is I'm going to stay here. I'm going to take care of Isabel. I'm going to take care of myself. And, you know, if a baby comes, then I'll make sure Dad and
No.
Tala know it. And no, you stop for a second and you listen. All right. All I've done is been yelled at by you and been punched in the face. And then my sister turned into a werewolf and scared me. But that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. And then once the baby's here, if the baby comes, I'll make sure Dad and Tala know because they're the kind of people that I would want my baby to grow up to be like. Because as much as I am say mean things to Tala, it's because I always wanted to be like her. All right? Are you happy? I said it out loud, but I'm not going back. That does nothing for anybody. All right, and Dad, I'll send him a letter or something that makes it harder for it to be traced. I'll ask Isabel. She's smart, and I'm not. She works. Well, she worked at the courthouse, which is now in that barrel and that wheelbarrow over there. So we'll have to figure that out. But she'll know what to do, right? And we'll let Dad know, and Dad can come visit, and Tala can come visit. And when they come, I'll leave so Tala doesn't turn into a wolf and try to hurt me again. But you know, because I want them to be in, and they, you know, Isabella. They like Isabella. She's nice, and you know all of that. But you can stop hitting me. It's not doing any good. It just hurts.
You're just gonna fuck up their lives too. But sure. Well, at
hey.
the very least,
Thanks for the second
your
chance
dad
there,
doesn't
champ.
have to worry. Not long ago, he was looking at losing both of his children, and now he has both of them back.
Whatever, Nate. You
Piece of
just wouldn't
space,
understand.
And Nate is walking off.
Mr. Lizard Doctor, thanks for fixing my face.
You're welcome. It's
Uh,
what I do. Before I leave you, I know I'm taking up a lot of your time, but if anything happens, just tell them I had to see to you because you inhaled some ash or something. But a lot has happened, is from what I can hear, and well, I do believe it best if you do contact your father. Granted, you said you will through letter, and I believe you should definitely follow through on that. But perhaps, go through a public telephone. Those are usually not quite easy to track. If nothing else, if you need his number, I happen to have it if you want to talk to him, and I believe you should.
I got it. I know it. I know Dad's number, so I'll reach
Because
out. I'll probably let this stuff kind of cool down a little bit and, give it time to make sure to know if he's going to be a grandpa or not. And make sure
I'm,
all
I,
of that.
I believe it would serve you best if you at least let him have your number too.
I don't really have a phone. That's kind of on purpose. Half because I don't want people calling me, and half because the gambling apps, they're addictive.
Have you ever considered getting one of those old people phones that can't get apps on them?
Yeah, but I'm not so good with numbers and buttons.
Well, all right, then get your very smart girlfriend to give him her number.
Oh, that's
So
a good
he
idea.
has-
Isabel
he
does
has-
have one of those good phones.
So he can reach out to you because he will want to talk to you. His relief that you're alive will beat any sadness that he has that you're dead. He might be angry too, but if you deal with it, it can only become better.
No, I no. They get a point on that. I'll make sure to reach out to them all. Well, at least Dad, and I'll let Dad pass any messages on to Tala so she doesn't bite me.
I can't say I can defend what I heard, what you did, but I will at least apologize that it turned out with this.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that they actually thought I was dead. right? You know, so I get why they're angry. I get it. But yeah, I'm gonna go home. I think. Tell Isabel what happened. And he just begins to walk off at that point.
That is the best. Before you go, I'm gonna hand him off my card. If you need to talk. Anyone.
Oh, okay.
I am an
Yeah.
actual doctor. Though more medicinal than psychological, but still.
I appreciate it. Dr. Othokent. Interesting. Lizard guy doctor. Huh.
Yes, there is.
You're just a scary little girl, and I'm gonna walk away now. And he begins to walk away.
I'm not gonna stop him. All right, Gobs, let's go talk to our dear friends. This is something.
Yeah, just so you know, even though you probably already know, I would absolutely have beat the shit out of him as well. But I am very violent, and you know that.
Indeed. So, I don't know how much of this conversation I'm going to enjoy having, but it's a conversation I'm gonna have nonetheless.
Sounds like everyone's kind of hurt here, right? I just only care about 2 of them, so.
I try to care a little for everyone. Everyone has different circumstances. I'm sure there's parts of your own life you'd rather have cut out if you could.
Oh yeah, like almost all of it.
Definitely. So, let's go to the others.
Yeah.
How long does it take for me to approach the rest of the party?
Couple minutes. We'll give them a couple moments to have any conversations they want to have.
Ah, great. We have a moment. So, I come over, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, that just happened. Whatever that was. Well, I know what that was. I got the explanation.
You would give them time to roleplay out conversations, or just...
Sounds kind of just went AFK, didn't he?
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Sounds
comes AFK.
Nope.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm an idiot. So yeah, it'll take you a moment to get over there. Let's give them a moment to have any conversations they were going to have.
Ah, fair enough.
Sad wolf noises.
Just a note, Abraham's sitting in this spot that Talah first sat at. She followed Pip, so Abraham's kind of separate. Kind of chilling, watching everything through his
Yeah, so
familiars.
they would first run into Abe at the edge of town.
But yeah, I'm not anywhere to have a conversation, so continue.
Fair enough.
So Nate, want to say anything, or Talah got anything to say?
Well, Talah is wolf and making sad wolf noises.
Right.
Nate is playing his flute.
So there you go.
Okay.
There's noises, but that's it.
All right, so yeah, so you guys get there, and can see everybody just kind of hanging out doing their thing.
As Otho and Gobs leave, the mind is following them. I'm literally just watching the group through my stuff.
That's
You have
incredibly
eyes
creepy.
everywhere. You have eyes everywhere. It's so
That's cool as
fucking
shit.
terrifying.
I love it. It's cool.
Yeah, that it is, but it's still terrifying. You never know when he's watching.
Does that also mean that he heard what Gobs just said?
He
Yes,
sees you when you're sleeping.
yes, it did.
And the legend of Abraham Claus grows.
But no, you can't hide. The mind can't. It's hard to miss. It glows.
Abra Claus.
So
And
if
the
you
ham.
So yeah, to answer your question, the mind glows like a 10-foot radius, and it hovers. So if you notice it, you know I'm watching.
Hmm.
And if you see a raven, I might be watching. So be paranoid all the time.
Oh
Hey,
yes,
good
definitely.
policy.
So as you probably would walk up to Abraham first as you're coming up.
Yeah.
They're further in. She's in bad shape. I mean, she's still in shape. She's not wanting to talk to anybody. Nate's back there. I think he's playing a flute. Sounds sad.
You know, I am kind of in the middle of wanting to push this issue and not wanting to push it at the same time.
Well, it's hard to gauge what exactly we should do. Too much, we can blame ourselves. Too little, we can blame ourselves.
Well, then I'm gonna go with my gut feeling. One of
There
my
you
friends
go.
is feeling bad, and I am going to try and help.
I approve. That's the best decision and course of action you could take.
So, Ofo's gonna continue.
Abe's gonna get up and brush himself off, but slowly follow him.
Just trotting along.
It looks like a ranger playing a flute and his animal companion laying beside him.
Well, hello there, you two. So, if you have anything bad you want to say about my decisions this day, feel free to do so. Take criticism.
Abe walks up. I don't give a shit what you think about what I did. But I'll listen anyways.
That's part of the charm of you, Abraham.
Alright. Looks like we need to set up camp and get some rest. Or help people. What's the choice?
Well, so far I've taken care of everyone in town that needed help.
So do we
Yeah,
shovel
from-
stuff and rebuild, or do we make camp and rest?
Building's kind of the city's job, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone can do cleanup and lift.
Rest up for sure. Find out what we're going to be doing next.
I have an idea. I think we need a camp, and I'll be back.
Right?
Do you
I'm gonna
need
go
help?
back. Sure.
All right.
I'm like, when Gobs tags along with Abraham as we're wrecking the town, we're gonna get a bunch of booze.
I like the sound of that.
Okay. So the inn/bar would have some, as well as the general store.
Okay. We're gonna buy some.
So at about a silver a bottle, how many bottles are you wanting?
There's 5 of us.
Mm-hmm.
10.
Okay. Yeah, you can get that. That's not a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a ridiculous amount, but it's not ridiculous to the point that one or the other would not have enough to meet that need. It'll cost you.
It's for a bottle each, so nobody feels like they have to interact with anybody, and they can drink by themselves if they want to. But we're all going to be in a group together, watching each other and being pals and friends. So it's going to be a social thing, and we're going to decompress. That's the idea. I explained that to Gobs and Abraham. We just need to sit down and just clear the air. We need to relax. This is the best idea I can come up with. I don't got that calming thing that the other people can do. I can't calm people down with a spell. I can maybe do something with this. It's friendship and camaraderie. So,
I mean, that seems to check out for me, despite the other thing is very creepy.
what?
You're talking out loud. You know that you were doing the Abe voice.
Yes, I was. I switched over to it. Like I was explaining the thought as Abraham, and I was going into role playing with it.
My bad.
Sorry, I thought I was clear about that. Sorry, you missed the segue.
I thought you might have been doing it on accident.
No.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, makes sense to me. Despite affecting people's minds, that seems like a transgression.
Well, I mean,
Because just forcing them to be calm is not making them calm, right?
I suppose that's true. I just know that the spell exists, as he looks at his massive the special spell book he got from the Sanctum.
Huh.
Anyways, that's it for another time. We have friends to attend to.
Indeed,
And so that's what
indeed.
that's what Abe and Jobs are doing. If there's anything that they want to talk about while we're gone.
Buying booze.
All right, you're able to do so.
Let's say 10 golds worth of booze.
No, it was a silver bottle. We bought 10 silver worth, so gold.
Yep.
Okay, 1 gold.
And so we come back with booze. And I just silently start handing out bottles, and Jobs hands out the bottles too. And sit down. And if nobody opens theirs, I'll start off with a sip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Talah can remain in wild shape for 3 hours, and she is intending to stay in wild shape for those 3 hours.
Drunk wolf. Drunk
Drunk
wolf.
wolf.
Drunk wolf.
No. Just wolf with head down on the floor. Just not really responding to anything.
And Abe's just going to start telling stories like nobody's talking. So if there's silence for too long, Abe's just going to start telling stories.
So as you guys sit out here and socialize, and as Talah, I don't want to say whines, but that's what dogs.
Outs.
Yeah. Well, she's not whining. Well, I mean, she is whining, but she's not like whining like a whiny brat. She's whining like a dog because she's a dog.
Yeah,
so-
it's also
so-
not continuous. It's like every now and then.
Yeah. So as you guys kind of decompress from the day with everything that's happened, I believe that's where we're going to end the session for this week.
Okay.
So next week, for those of us who are not in Europe, we will be back to our normal time, as our majority European cast does daylight savings time this evening. So they'll be back on the same schedule as us. So we'll be back at the 1 o'clock Central Time next week. But for everybody else, I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching. And as always, feel free to check out the YouTube channel, which should be in the description of the Twitch channel. And we hope to see you subscribe, all that kind of stuff on the VODs once they're posted, which are usually posted within the next 10 to 12 hours. But again, thanks for everybody and everyone on the stream. Have a good evening.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you next
Bye,
time.
people.
Bye!
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.